shot.
Fine goal. And out of it, William there with a header. What a strike there from Christian Hope. Champions, oh, oh. That's right, we did it. Champions, come on. First full season, promotion, Premier League, here we come. I'm Jonny Greenhouse. This is the Shaken Up Show, playing away, and tonight's guest is Golcar Player Coach, Sheffield United coach, and former Bury FC player, Joe Skarz. But before we bring Joe on, let's talk about Sunday. What absolute emotional roller coaster that was. I cried, I laughed, I smiled, I was nervous. Let's just have a quick recap. None of this would be possible without the fans, players, Andy, Spen, Phil, Lenko, Aidan, Alan Raw, who has helped us out this season as well, another Bury legend. It's just been amazing. Thank you to everybody on behalf of the club that has been to games away and home and just made us, you know, come across as the great friendly club that we want to be. It's been an amazing season. Capped off with that absolute gem of a day on Sunday. My hangover's only just gone. We've got one more stop in our Northwest Counties Division 1 campaign this season, and that is at Golcar this weekend. Sold out, 250 Bury fans there. Without further ado, Joe Skarz, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks a lot for having me.
Hey, you're most welcome. Been excited to get this one, not only because it's the last episode of the season, but also to get a former Bury player on as well. So it's brilliant to have you on. But what I'll do, I'll get cracking in. There's no need to introduce yourself, because obviously everybody watching this is going to know who you are. So can you tell us about how you got involved up at Golcar?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, my time as a professional as such came to an end when I kind of left Bury FC and then went on loan to Halifax. Kind of dropped down into semi-professional at the likes of Kettering and Grantham, and didn't really enjoy it there, to be honest. Kind of, you know, having been involved in professional since I was 17, you know, dropping down to part-time and semi-professional at that level, just I didn't enjoy it. I found there were quite a few egos at that level, which I found baffling. Players who thought they were maybe better than they were, you know, and didn't really have the best interests at heart in terms of winning and trying to do the best for the team. So I had conversations with obviously Golcar when I was at those mentioned clubs, and they kind of just said, look, if if you're interested, we can try and make it work. So then COVID obviously hit when I was at Grantham, and after COVID and kind of the stall in the season, I just thought, why not? I thought, if I want to get back to enjoying my football, I want to be somewhere where it's local to me. Because I'm coaching now at Sheffield United, so that's a big commitment for me as well. In terms of how much I'm there. And yeah, it just escalated from that, really. Conversation with the managers who were brothers, Ash Connor and Gav Connor, and conversation with the chairman. And it just seemed to fit really well. It seemed to fit around me and my family life, which I'm really enjoying now, and spending more time with them, and thinking, even though I think about football pretty much every day, thinking less kind of seriously, and less pressure on me to, and I'm really enjoying it.
For those that don't know, where is Golcar? Can you let us know?
Yeah, so it's basically, it's going towards kind of like Marsden and Slathwaite, and over that area. So Marsden's not too far from the likes of Oldham. So it's more towards that way. So over the tops kind of Huddersfield. So yeah, lovely little place. Proper kind of little village, and people who come to the games who like to have a beer and like to just enjoy some non-league football.
Fantastic. It's been amazing this season. Going to some of these places in the world that you might just never have gone.
Yeah.
I would have never gone to Cleetham or to Holker just to go out of my way. But we've had great days up there. Well, no, we didn't have a great day at Holker. I came back looking like a drowned rat. I was soaked, but it was a fantastic day, and just all these great clubs with just a family atmosphere wherever you go. There's no animosity.
Yeah.
It's just everybody welcomes everybody. It's fantastic.
I think that's the biggest thing I've found about this level. Obviously you get a bit of to and fro when the game's going on, and with opposite fans and with opposite players. But at the end of the game, all the players are in the bar having a beer after. They're having some food together, they're talking, and that's just, I just think it's brilliant. And the level is a lot better than people think too. There's some really good players at this level. Players who can play a lot higher, I believe, but like I've said there, they probably just want to enjoy the football, where they can maybe, if they've got plans on a Friday night, they can do that as well, and then enjoy a game of football on Saturday as well.
Definitely. So you've been with Golcar since the 2019, 2020?
Yeah, so I joined Golcar, I think it was July 2020 that I joined. So yeah.
They're very in a similar vein to us. They've only just come into the full semi-professional setup, haven't they? In the same time frame that we have. So they've had a bit of a similar sort of introduction. Have you found out anything interesting about the club in your time there? Any players that have gone on from there to anywhere else that might be of note, or anything historic?
No, not really. Obviously, just in terms of the progress that the club's made. My dad used to play against Golcar when he was younger, and I used to go and watch, and the picture on a slope like that, but going a sideward slant, which wasn't very nice. There was change rooms were about as big as a toilet, and just the way that the club's progressed, and the volunteers that are involved at the club who work hard day in, day out to try and improve the facilities, to try and make us be able to compete with clubs like Bury, AFC Bury, and the other clubs that are in the league. It's just for real hard work and determination that they want to go and watch their local team on a Saturday, and like I said, have a beer, which you can't do at professional grounds, and just enjoy it, and just watch it with friends and family. And I just think it's really good, and it's so enjoyable.
I think it's a bit of a breath of fresh air as you go to these clubs and you'll see the chairman on the turnstile, or Anne, who's on our board, walking around the pitch with a high vis on, picking litter up and things like that. Whereas at the Football League, you don't get that. You get them sat in segregated areas and in dark rooms under the stand and stuff like that. And I think it's just a bit of you feel more connected to your club. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll move on. So let's get them all. I'm just flicking through my questions. So yeah, with the really going back onto the season. So yeah, with 2021 being chalked off, I've not looked back at last season's table. How were Golcar getting on last season in that first little stretch?
We were mid-table, so we didn't start the greatest. You know, I think we won one, lost one. I think we'd won 3, drawn 1, lost 4 after the obviously the last game that we played in that season was the very game when you equalised in the last minute. So yeah, we were mid-table and we had quite a disappointing start, to be honest. So obviously we're ashamed that it got, you know, curtailed the season before this. And yeah, this season obviously we've done okay.
Tell you what, it was up until 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was very much a 3-horse race for that top spot. It was getting very, very tight.
Yeah.
There were some nerves at our end. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and listen, that I think that's, you know, we have been really disappointed with the run that we've been on. We've not had a great run at all in the last month or so. We've lost games and we've not performed as well as we should have. But you know, like I say, to push Bury so close, and Hawk have been fantastic as well. You know, it's been a really good season, and something that, you know, if you just said we'd have been in the playoffs at the start of the season before we kicked the ball, and we had a home semi-final to try and get to the final, we'd just snap your hand off. And yeah, obviously, like I say, disappointed at the last 7 or 8 games, but it's gone now, and we've got a really exciting last game with a big crowd against obviously a club that's won the league, who deserve all the accolades that they're going to get. And you know, I'm sure us as a club at Golcar and us as players certainly will give them all the respect that they deserve, and obviously a round of applause that they've won the league.
Well, we're very much looking forward to it. I think we've got 250 come in, so it should be a great day. You guys have got your biggest attendance on the day, so it'll be a really good party affair. Last time we played, it was a rather spicy 10-goal affair.
Yeah.
What kind of game are you expecting this weekend, with us sort of knowing our places? You know, we can't move, can we? There's no.
I think it'll still be a really good game. I think. I mean, I don't mean this out of turn, but I think it's probably a perfect game for Bury to have, in terms of maybe against other teams, you know, who are mid-table. They might just come and have a little bit of a kick around for the last game. But I think they'll want to come and turn us over. I really do, just to prove a point that they're the best team in the league. And like you say, I think they're a little bit of needle in the game at Bury when you beat us 7-3, and you handsomely beat us. Don't get me wrong, you know, you deserve to win that game, and you deserve to win by that scoreline. So yeah, I think Bury will come, and obviously I know the manager quite well, Andy Welsh, you know, and I think they'll want to sign off the season with a victory. And that's going to be good for us. You know, we don't want a game really where we've got a team coming in and we're going through the motions, because we need to really prepare for this game like it's a playoff semi-final.
Don't know you've got yet either, do you?
Well, we don't know we've got. It looks like it might be Blackpool, but obviously they need a point, and they've got Ilkley away on Saturday, which is tough.
A very, very good team, though. Blackpool are very, very,
yeah,
very
they are.
good
There's a lot of good teams.
So I've not been pissed off once this season, apart from coming back from Blackpool after that game. All season, been soaking wet through, freezing cold, snowed on. I've not come away angry once, apart from after that Blackpool game. But it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, so like I say, I think it'll be a really good game, and I think it'll be a good game for us in terms of Bury wanting to come, wanting to win, wanting to sign off the season on a good note in front of 250 fans, like you say. I think the crowd will help as well. Big crowd, 1,300, 1,400 people in there. It'll be a proper game, and something that we're certainly, as a club, we're looking forward to, and certainly, you know, something that our players should relish and enjoy.
Definitely. I've got 3 questions for you left. Moving on, we've covered the game, we've covered the season. 2 questions are the same, but I've had to amend it slightly for yourself. So, in your time since you've come into the non-league, who's the best player at any of the steps you've come up against? Because, like you said, there's been some absolute talent in non-league.
Yeah. Best player I've come up against would probably be. There's a lot, like you said, there really is. There's a lot of good players. You've got your likes of, obviously, your two wide men, Gilboy and Obasato, and really good players. You obviously got Wharton, who I didn't directly play against, but you can tell he's a good player. You've got your lad at Blackpool, the Gregory, is it? Who's another good player. He scored 25 goals this season, but they're just kind of the ones that stand out, in terms of the goals that we scored and the creators. But there's so many other players what you can kind of, and this isn't me being kind of arrogant, but you don't really know the names. So, but if you saw them, you'd say, yeah, really good play. Ilkley have got the lad who scored, Gonzalez who scored 25. There's so many players who I believe could play higher than this level.
It's the lad I always mention, the lad at Steaton, Mo, the midfielder.
Yeah,
just gets about. He's just everywhere.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Like
you've got one of the best players in the league, and you have to train against him 2 or 3 times a week, don't you, Ash?
Yeah, Ash Finney. Yeah, exactly. We've got players who, as I say, they could play higher. They really could. It's just a case of they want to enjoy the football and they want to have a laugh. They want to play on the mates, which is fantastic. And yeah, Holker have got some really good players, solid team. Really organised. It will be tough to beat in the playoffs. Let's make no bones about that. The playoffs is a lottery, and any one of the four has got just as good a chance of going up as anybody else. I think Holker have got a slight advantage in terms of where they are. The travel that the away team's got to go. Whoever's got them in the semi, it's a long way up there, isn't it?
4 and a bit hours it was for us, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, no, they're the ones that spring to mind, But I couldn't really pick out any individual player that's.
I've got the same question again, but who was the best player you played against in the Football League?
So I played for Rotherham against Reading, and it was Jamie Mackey for Reading, who was at Oxford and QPR, and on that given day, he was the best player that I played against. He could do everything that I just didn't have an answer for him for. So yeah, there's different players and played against different ones. At Bury, we had obviously Nicky Jose, Tom Lees. So many good players. Ryan Lowe. Nicky Adams. Never liked to play against Nicky because he can cross off both feet, and he was a nightmare to play against. I saw Nicky actually at the away game when we played you at Radcliffe. Another really good lad who just a football man. And I know he follows Bury AFC's progress really closely.
Fantastic. Well, my final question for you. We've been through this a little bit earlier on, but I used to ask people what they thought the score prediction was going to be, but I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
So if you could say one thing to someone who hasn't been to watch the local non-league side to convince them to go and give it a chance, what would it be?
As we said, I just think it's, with what it is now in professional football, yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not great, but so many people now, they work Monday to Friday or whatever, and they work and they work hard, and you come to a non-league game, it's just real. It's just normal people who want to play football because they love playing football. A lot of professional footballers play football because they get really good money. And I question, do they actually love football? You see a lot of players when they finish, stop playing football, they eat, they'll drink and they'll go out and they'll do other things, I'm playing football because I love playing football. I'm not playing at Golcar for any other reason that I love playing football. I love playing on Tuesday night, on a Saturday, no matter who it's against, no matter who it's against. And I'm sure it's the same with the lads at Bury. They get quite a bit of, I think they get quite a bit of publicity that they're on this and that. And I know that's not the case, don't get me wrong, they'll be getting decent money for the level, but so they should with the crowd that they get. the revenue that the club gets with the crowd and the revenue and the income that they get from a match day, they can afford to. So, and they've won the league, so they've got every right to. But they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it because they enjoy playing for Bury FC, the AFC, Bury FC. They enjoy playing in front of a big crowd. There's lads at your club who could play a lot higher, and could play for the Conference North. But why do they want to go to a Conference North club and play in front of 300 people when they can play at your club in front of 1,300 people? You play football to play in front of big crowds, to play in occasions, and that's one of the things, and I won't say this out of turn, that when obviously Hawker were really close to yourselves, in a way I was wanting you, Bury FC, to come second, just because of the occasion that the playoff final would have been if we could have played you, and the memories that would have created for our players. We might have lost the game on the day, but to have a playoff final played in front of 1,400, 2,000 people, which might have been at Radcliffe, that lives in a lot of our lads' players' memories. Whereas you go to a playoff final now, and if we are lucky enough to get to that final, and obviously Hawker, whoever it is, and we have to go to Hawker away, it's not going to be the same occasion. So I just think it's been fantastic to have a club like yourselves in the league. Every club who you've probably played has got the highest attendance when you've played them at their ground, which is, I know obviously we're going to have our highest attendance on Saturday, and the whole kind of village and the town is looking forward to it. Huddersfield play on Friday night against Hull, so we're going to get obviously Huddersfield fans up to the game, and I just think it's fantastic. I really do. We'd love to get promoted, but if we don't get promoted, then I'll still be playing next year, and that's just what it's about for me. It's about enjoying my football, meeting normal people, doing this with yourself and stuff like that. Who, like you say, you're doing it because you love it and you enjoy it, and you, like you said, you've been to places where you wouldn't have gone to if Bury were in the football league. So yeah, come down, have a beer, give players a little bit of stick, but then they'll have a laugh with you after the game. That's what it is, though, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, we've gone and we've travelled well this season, and we've just gone wanting to make friends with these clubs,
Yeah.
And I've made connections with people all over the Northwest through this journey.
Yeah.
People I wouldn't have ever met, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, and like I say, I've seen it on Twitter a little bit, a few Golcar fans and a few Bury fans having a bit of banter, but they'll get to the ground on Saturday and they'll realise what a lovely little village club it is that we've got at Golcar, and sometimes that rivalry and that little bit of needle is good. It's good because we all want to win. We all want to win, and we all want to win the league. I'm jealous of Bury because they've won the league. I'd love to be going to playing on this game on Saturday with the title. I'd love it, but we've unfortunately got 2 more games after the Saturday where we've got to try and get over the line like you have. So yeah, I am jealous of you boys in the league, but jealous that even though I'm jealous and I'd love to be in their position, I'll still show you all the respect that you deserve by obviously saying well done and congratulations on winning the league.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll catch up with you after the game. Yeah. When it's all said and done, we'll have a pint, and I wish you the best of luck for the playoffs as well.
Top man, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah. See you later.
Joe Skarz, what an absolute legend. Thank you for coming on the show. What a lovely bloke. We're very much looking forward to our trip over to Golcar this weekend. And for those that can't make the trip, make sure that you are tuned in to Roch Valley Radio and our Twitter feed for coverage of the game. It's going to be a really good, well-fought game. If it's anything like the last one, there's going to be goals. What else have I got to say? End of season award tickets are on sale. There were 27 left this morning. If you want to come to that, you better get your tickets bought fast. There's an email. I think another one's just sold. Tickets are on sale for Prestwich Hayes in a Macron Cup next Tuesday. And if you missed out on Sunday for a programme like I did, I gave mine away to someone because they really wanted one. They are being reprinted and are available to order on the website for collection at the Prestwich Hayes game. If you can't make it to the game, there are also instructions on the website of what you can do to perhaps get one posted to you. I'm not sure. But yeah, this might be for the final time now, me signing off, unless we progress in the cup and we get an away fixture. But yeah, I will see you next season in the Premier League. Come on.